All right, let's talk the good, the bad, and the ugly. My name's Greg. You're watching How to Play Paintball. All right, so two things before we get started. One being, if you haven't checked out the free ebook that's down below, it's kind of like a cheat sheet for a bunch of drills. Be sure to go ahead and it's free. Go down, download it. Feel free to tweak any of those that you would like to, and it's just gonna help you out. So just some different ideas and might kind of spark some other ideas for other drills. And the second thing is that there is gonna be a giveaway with this video. So make sure that you are watching through to the end so that way you can get all the info and have a chance of winning some cool stuff. Okay, so let's start off with the good. So definitely some of the good was the flights actually, I don't know if they had adjusted things or maybe just playing with Armada was different enough that our schedules aligned a little bit better for me to be able to get some better flights in and out of Atlantic City. What's good is that Atlantic City, the actual airport, is only about 20 minutes from the event, but if you fly into Philly, I think it's about an hour or so. So it's not like it's terrible, but you do have a couple options so that way you can figure out what's going to be best for you. I also didn't think that the hotels were that expensive. There was a couple that were in a couple miles of the field. I even looked up Airbnb, and there was a bunch of ones that you can find there. So pricing was definitely good. I don't know if it's just that this time of year or what the case might have been. So I did notice that the actual pricing for the hotels was pretty reasonable. As for food and things like that, usually when you go into any of the casinos, there's going to be a little bit of a surcharge, so it's not the most ideal with that, but you know, there's other restaurants that are around there, yeah, so different options for that. So definitely some of the good stuff with that. The other good is, this is going to sound weird, I actually really like having that runway as a way to, from the parking lot all the way out to the fields. It's not great when you're walking on it with cleats, but when you're rolling everything out, you're not having to like pull it through grass or through mud or dirt. And then like it did rain, we'll get to that in a little bit. It's gonna make it where it's not just a sloshy, just disgusting pit of mud as you're trying to pull your stuff through to get back to the hotel or get back to your car so that we can get back to the hotel or go get food or whatever it might be. So that's definitely really nice, is having that runway. It also helps it where it's just everything is one shot. You can see all the different vendors as you're going by, and then the fields are right there. So at least for semi-pro and also for pro, it was really nice having the paint trucks right there. Like that was definitely a really nice thing, having the paint trucks within, a couple steps essentially. So along with that, paint was shooting great. Everything was right there. There was a decent selection of food, different options for you there. So definitely another good. I think that the reffing was pretty decent. There was some calls here and there, but like I got a penalty for, I walk up to the ref and go, hey, he has a hit on his loader, and I got a penalty for talking. Technically within the rule book, yes, it's just annoying. Reffing isn't easy, like there's really only one bad call I can think of, at least for us. Like there was one that I asked for a check, the ref calls me clean, and then I get a penalty after that. So I was like, what just happened? Like he called me clean and now you're giving me a penalty. It doesn't make any sense. That kind of stuff is going to happen periodically. It's not ideal. So I would say that the reffing was pretty good in general. So nothing really to complain about with that. Getting into the bad now. The conditions of the fields weren't great. Now they're flat. That's definitely something that's a plus, but I think because of I don't know if it was really dry recently in Atlantic City or what, but like there was not a whole lot of grass. It was a lot more dirt, and that can hurt people. So you go and you're trying to dive real hard, and with grass, you're gonna slide. But with dirt, you're just gonna hit and kind of stick. So it's not the most ideal situation. When we were practicing, one of my friends that is a photographer walks over and goes, hey, look what I found, and it was pieces of glass. So I get that this area is used for a bunch of different things. It's not just for sporting events. if they can like skim it more and look for those things, looking for more. I mean, even as I was walking out from the pits, I'm like, oh, there's another like broken glass bottle. That's not exactly a good thing. So the NXL should try to do maybe a little bit more intense of a sweep. I get that not everything is going to be found, but just doing a little bit more with that. Also, in regards to the conditions, I think before the grass was better, but I don't know if they need to talk with the people that own Bader Field, whether it's the city or whatever, and just say like, hey, leading up to the tournament, we need there to be grass. So if you need to put out sprinklers or whatever, that kind of stuff needs to be there, or else players can end up getting hurt. So I know that as the tournament goes on, the grass kind of gets killed just because it's been dove on and slid on and all of that. But you want the conditions to be as good as possible. You think about Tampa, the grass was really great, and it's a parking lot usually. So, you know, if they can do that, then Atlantic City can definitely make the conditions a little bit better. But that's really the only bad that I can think of is the conditions. But I do want to get into some of the ugly. So definitely some ugly. Atlantic City is just kind of gross. I'm sorry if you're from there. I just don't like the fact that, you know, you walk into one of the casino hotel things, whatever, and it's kind of, the smoking in there is kind of annoying because it's just like, okay, I'm going to get a bunch of lung cancer while I'm here. But when you leave and it's just kind of gross, it's not my favorite. And then even like I was walking with one of my teammates and we were meeting someone else, some other people from the event at a restaurant. Actually, some of our other teammates were there too. And walking there, I'm like, oh, this is like sketchy. I do not really like this place. And part of me was like, oh, well, maybe I'll just walk back to the hotel on my own. And then I thought, I'm like, no, I don't want to be just by myself walking down here. So I don't know if it's just that area. And I know every city has bad spots, but it seemed like no matter where you went, there really wasn't a lot of great in that area. So that would be something that I wouldn't want to go back to Atlantic City for that reason. You don't want it to be that people are feeling unsafe while they're there. I get a lot of times people are going to the casinos. They're not really leaving the casinos, so they're not going to see a whole lot of that. But you know, if someone leaves the casino and they start walking down the street and they feel like they're going to get mugged or something, it's like, oh, okay, this is really not the best. So that would be my only ugly for the event, though. Everything else was pretty great. You can't control the weather, so the fact that it did rain on Sunday only, the weather other than that was fantastic. I mean, we only had 6 guys, so we actually only had 5, and then on Thursday there was someone that was able to jump in with us. So not the most ideal situation, and I didn't put that out there because people didn't need to know that going into the tournament, especially people that we were going to be playing. But I mean, I played every single point in the prelims and felt fine. It was, I think, because of the weather. I'm not just drenched in sweat and just sweating profusely. So this time of year, I think, is good for Atlantic City. It rained, which is going to happen. I'm not going to fault the NXL for that. I don't know if this is the usual rainy season for Atlantic City, but if that's the case, then they might want to either shift it a little bit, but for the most part, it's a pretty good event. So let's get into the giveaway. So what I'm going to be giving away is my very own, one and only Miami Effect jersey. So this is my personal one. It's the only one in existence with Montalvo on it. So yeah, I wanted to put this up as the giveaway. So what you need to do is first make sure that you like and subscribe. Of course, make sure you do that so that way you know exactly when I'm putting out new videos. In the comments down below, put down what was your favorite and least favorite thing about Atlantic City. Maybe you weren't even there, but you were watching on the webcast or seeing pictures, whatever. What was your favorite and least favorite thing? After you put that down in the comments, go ahead and email me at greg@howtoplaypaintball.com. Just make sure that you're putting in that topic, you know, giveaway or something along those lines, and then just put what is your username. So that way when I go back, it just makes it easier when I can just email it's just faster. Trust me, it's just easier for me to be able to do that. So make sure that you do those things. And yeah, so again, in the email, just make sure you're putting your username for YouTube, and around here somewhere, I'll put when I'll be sending out that message to the winner. So make sure that you're checking out your email around the evening time of this date, whenever it is that I'm doing it. So good luck to everyone. Thank you to everyone for the continued support. Yeah, some cool stuff coming. Glad to be on board with Armada. Grateful to them for bringing me on board. Thank you to Dai and for everyone else that's been supporting me no matter where it is that I'm at. So thank you guys so much, whether you're just started watching or you've been watching for, what is it, almost 10 years now? Oh my gosh. So thank you. And as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.